When John Dalton was inaugurated as governor 4 years ago this week, his #1 priority was to do something about the size of state government. Looking back at his term, Dalton says he gets great pleasure knowing he accomplished that goal.
Certainly the thing that I'm the most pleased with is the fact that we have literally stopped the runaway growth of state government.
On the negative side of the ledger, the governor is upset because his administration has not been able to do more to expand the state's coal business.
I'm disappointed that we have not been able to complete the contract and so forth for the Portsmouth coal terminal.
The governor, who toured the dry tidewater reservoirs during the water crisis, admits not much progress has been made in that area. And he says in the long term, Virginia Beach must turn to the Appomattox and not closer rivers that also run into North Carolina in order to solve the problem.
If we come to the Appomattox River, which comes down by Petersburg and empties into the James, we can control our own destiny because that water never leaves Virginia until it goes out into the ocean.
Dalton's biggest concern is Medicaid, which has been growing at 1% a year.
Now, if you allow Medicaid to continue 1 or 2% more each year, you look down 10 years from now, and Medicaid will be taking up 1/4 of all the state spending. And let it grow another 20 years, and it might be taking up close to half of state spending. One program can't just take it all, and that's what we're headed for if something isn't done about Medicaid.
The governor worked hard for the election of President Reagan, and he says Reaganomics will work if given a chance.
But are you worried at all about how it's affecting poor people and really putting the squeeze to them?
Well, I've never thought that government could do everything for everybody, and I think that has got to be the philosophy. People are going to have to tighten their belt a little bit.
Tomorrow, in the second part of our exclusive interview with John Dalton, the soon-to-be ex-governor looks towards the future. In Richmond at the state capitol, Mike Deason, the Daily News. Last night, in an exclusive interview, Governor John Dalton looked over his 4 years as chief executive of the state of Virginia. Tonight, the soon-to-be ex-governor looks towards the future. As for his future, Dalton surprised political observers last spring when he told a Capitol News conference under no terms would he run for Harry Byrd's Senate seat, despite the fact he probably could have easily won.
I think it's a question of what you want to do with the rest of your life. I'm 50 years old. I think if you go to the United States Senate, you must figure that you will be there or try to be there for 3 terms. And quite frankly, I think I would like to do some other things besides just devote all the rest of my life to government.
But that doesn't mean Dalton will shy away from politics. He plans to help the Republican Party, which he says, if it continues to grow at the current rate, will eventually dominate the House of Delegates.
You look back, there were only 4 Republican delegates in 1961 and 96 Democrats. And it's very conceivable in 1985 you'll have a Republican House of Delegates. We have moved a long way.
But Dalton admits the devastating statewide loss will hurt the party's bid to regain the governor's mansion in 1985.
The problem, as I see it, for 1985 is that the Republican Party does not have anyone who is lieutenant governor or attorney general.
You talk about the next governor. Do you think in 1985 you could be that person?
Well, I'm not leaving office with the thought in mind that that's what I'll be doing 4 years from now. You know, once you've been governor, you've had the highest honor the people of the state can pay you. I'm very appreciative of that. I've enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to getting back on the private side and doing some of the things that individual citizens enjoy.
As for Governor-elect Chuck Robb, who Dalton predicts will do a fine job, the governor says he has tried to brief him as much as possible and cautioned Robb not to let the pressure get to him.
Anybody who is trying to put their government together and get started is going to have some sleepless nights. I did. And I told him that he shouldn't be concerned that it's just him.
And finally, Dalton says, looking back, he'll leave office with peace of mind.
But all in all, I feel very comfortable with what we've done. I think that we've basically done what we set out to do, and I leave state government with a good taste.
In Richmond at the state capitol, Mike Deason, the Daily News.